Today we're going to be rating Magic the Gathering cards that are effectively 2 cards in 1. Let's set the rules. It's going to be any split cards, any transform cards, any double-sided cards. What am I? Adventure cards, you name it. It's got to be a pass and fail system. Either it's just good enough to be playable, or I think it's absolute garbage. Let's start with breaking and entering. All right, first half. Black, blue, sorcery. Target player puts the top 8 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Might be okay in a mill deck, I guess, if you're playing the 60-card formats. Entering! We have a red, black, 4 generic sorcery. Put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste until end of turn. You get to keep the damn thing. It's never leaving your control, and it's any graveyard. Do you know what? That is a pass for me. Okay, Abzo with wear and tear. I gotta remember to use the double slashes when looking for these cards. Thank God they come out horizontally instead of me twisting my head around every single card. Okay, we got our red one generic, instant destroy target artifact. And we also got a white. We destroy target enchantment. Actually, both halves are quite good. It's like disenchant with a bit of a discount if you're playing Boros, because if you want the enchantment part, you only pay 1 mana. You get a little bit of a discount. Fires of Yavimaya is 1 card in 1. I know what Fires of Yavimaya is. It's got 2 abilities on 1 card. That does not make it 2 cards in 1. Okay, always a bigger fish with Optimus Prime Hero. I think that's a double-sided card, right? Yeah, it converts. Optimus Prime Hero. We got a white, red, blue, 3 generic. This doesn't even look like a real Magic the Gathering card. It looks like one of those custom Magic the Gathering cards where there's like some sort of theme. Looks like something you guys would make on this show. Seriously. All right, we got a 4/8 robot. More than meets the eye for a white, red, blue, 2 generic. You may cast this card for... This card converted for... Oh, so you can convert this thing instead of paying its regular casting cost. At the beginning of each end step, you bolster 1. Choose a creature with the least toughness, you make it bigger. When Optimus Prime dies, return it to the battlefield converted under its opponent's control. And we got the Autobot Leader. Step aside. This thing takes diesel. We got this big semi-truck vehicle. Living metal. As long as it's your turn, this vehicle is also a creature. It's got trample. It will trample over all roadkill. Whenever you attack, bolster 2. The chosen creature gains trample until end of turn. When that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, convert Optimus Prime. I don't understand this card. It's just like a really fancy regular card. I don't even think it's all that... I guess the deal is when it dies, you get 2 cards. All right, so for that, I'll give it a pass. That is very convoluted, though. Jesse, West Vale Abbey. Is this the... Oh, this is the thing. The token generator. Okay, you add a colorless, pay 5 mana, pay 1 life. Put a 1/1 white human cleric creature token onto the battlefield. That's very, very pathetic. But you can pay 5, sacrifice 5 creatures to transform it into the 9/7... Flying Lifelink Indestructible Abomination with haste. Definitely a great card. All right, super chat coming from Robert. Insult/injury. You love your insults, you love your injuries. This is one of those weird split cards where like half of it is horizontal, the other half is vertical. Okay, we have a red 2 generic sorcery. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Something a lot of red players love. If a source you control would deal damage this turn, it deals double that damage instead. I do not love it. That is a lot of... Doesn't really do anything for me, to be honest. Okay, can we rotate this? Let's rotate around. We got injury. We have a red 2 generic Aftermath. Cast the spell only from your graveyard, then exile it. Injury deals 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player. Very underwhelming card. Does not pass. So basically, for 6 mana, you can deal 4 damage to a creature and 4 damage to a player. Unpreventable. I've seen more exciting cards, in my opinion. But thanks for the super chat. Are we gonna... I guess we can count these. Arrayo, Soratami Ascendant. It sort of feels like 2 cards in 1. Blue 1 generic flying. Whenever the fourth spell of a turn is played, flip Areo Soratamia said. I would have made a commander out of this. This would be my commander, except it's Stone Cold banned. Ugh, you guys can't. You want to see this? It's banned in commander. How could they do that to Areo? Oh, my Areo, my poor Areo. Okay, let's flip Arunio around. What do we get if we play 4 spells? Areo's Essence. Counter the first spell played by each opponent each turn. That's music to my ears. Love it. That's cash money right there. Too good. Abzo says, unban this. I didn't miss anybody. I gotta move between the super chats and non-super chats. That's how we do this. So it's not completely pay to win. In the 4th quarter, it's all super chats. Because if I don't do it like that, the show goes on forever. And guess what? Samrat, you're next. With the $2, just become a member. Can we do Bramble Familiar? Absolutely, we can do Bramble Familiar. As long as it's 2 cards and 1. It is an adventure card. So that's how they have card advantage now. They're just putting 2 cards into 1 card constantly. Like someday we're gonna have like double adventures. It'll be like a split adventure card and a creature at the same time. There'll be barely any text left on the card. Okay, we have a green 1 generic 2/2. The Raccoon! The Elemental Raccoon with the Fetch Quest. 7 mana sorcery. Mill 7 cards. Then put a creature, enchantment, or land card from among them. From the among the milled cards onto the battlefield. A little too random for my taste, but it is a mana dork with a green 1 generic tap. Discard a card. Return Bramble Familiar to its owner's hand. That is weird. I can discard a card and bounce my... Oh, so you get the Fetch Quest again. To mill 7 cards and then put a creature onto the battlefield. Great draft card. I don't know if this is that good and constructed, though. No pass. This Raccoon enabled a combo in Standard with Evasion of Alar. Really? Okay, well, okay, I'm going to change my mind on it. I didn't know it's a combo. This is a combo? This is not the... This is one of those cards that you would not think is a combo card. Just, it looks like draft chaff to me. Nah, this is... Okay, I'm going to listen to the coffee crew. I'm just going to trust you guys. Beanpot. Warrant / Warden. Okay, first half. We got Azorius. Azorius put attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. Very underwhelming effect. But we got the second half. We got Warden. Create a 4/4 white and blue Sphinx creature token with flying and vigilance. When you just pick... I don't like it. Both halves are not very exciting. I got 5 mana for a Sarah Angel. Basically, okay, so Warden is like, pay 5 mana, get Sarah Angel, and the other half is sort of a submerge effect. You missed my you missed my non-super chat. Garth One Eye is a twofer? I don't think it is. Garth One Eye. I think that's like 1 card that makes a bunch of cards. I know what you're saying, but no. Doesn't count. Jess with Murderous Rider. Alright, we got black 1 generic 2/3 Zombie Knight with Swift End. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, you lose 2 life. That is excellent. Blowing up, and it's all at the low cost of 2 life. It is instant speed, though. It's instant speed. And 2/3 lifelinker. When it dies, put on the bottom of its owner's library, so you get to keep it in your deck. I like it. I like Murderous Rider. Dizzy Blizzy. Busy today, so all I can do is listen. And also, donate the super chat to Christopher V. Invasion of Lorwyn. Invasion of... Oh, yeah, they've got these invasion cards. Where's Lorwyn? Okay, Invasion of Lorwyn. We got a green, black, 4 generic. It's a siege. These cards are so weird, and they look like such jank online. Okay, so an opponent... Choose an opponent to protect it. Yeah, you protect it from the siege. And when Invasion of Lorwyn enters the battlefield, destroy star target non-elf creature an opponent controls with power X or less, where X is the number of lands you control. What the hell does that mean? Destroy... Why does it say destroy star? Okay, hold on. We gotta go to the Oracle text here. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-elf creature an opponent controls with power X or less. Well, why didn't they say that here? Do you see that? What I see? It says destroy star. Anyway, don't make sense to me. Or is that the power and toughness of the thing on the other side? Oh, okay. That's the backside. Well, that didn't look clear to me, in my opinion. And winnowing forces. So it turns into winnowing forces, and its power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Not very exciting. When I get when the back hat, I want to see. Okay, when it enters the battlefield, though, we destroy target non-elf creature an opponent controls with power X or less, where X is the number of lands you control. 6 mana removal spell to have a star as big as your lands. I don't know. Not in love with it. Whoops. Not exciting. Okay, moving on. We'll get Mr. DJ Longhair. Going to Vegas? Honestly, I'm not going to Vegas. I'm not going to be there. Sorry. The event schedule really sucked. I'm actually walking away from my plane ticket there. So heads up, I won't be in Vegas. They've very bad constructed schedule for the constructed players. It's all single elimination events, which is just awful. Maybe next time. See, at an SCG Con or NRG Gaming thing or something. Okay, we're going to donate your super chat, though, to Ree with Valakut Awakening. Valakut Awake... I know what you're talking about. There we go. So we got a red 2 generic. Oh, yeah, and it's a land. It's instant. Put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library, then draw that many cards +1. Very good card. Help you prevent from flooding. So, you keep this... So, I mean, you can play this as a land early on. Comes onto the battlefield tap. That's good stuff. Who doesn't like land? But if you draw it late in the game and you have a bunch of garbage in your hand, then eventually you just got to... you can basically recycle all your garbage into, hopefully, treasure. I mean, it's random. Who knows what's on the top of your library? Oh yeah, these cards are what makes the Belcher combo deck possible. Yep, and also what's it called? Not only Belcher, but also the Balustrade Spy deck. There's an actual name for that thing, though. So these are not like... Because these are also not technically lands. So yeah, for the purposes of Belcher, they can play with a bunch of these spells that act like lands. They pretend it. They're imposter lands. The imposters. Okay, Jesse, when I first started Amonkhet, I thought Heaven/Earth was so good. Maybe it is. It's okay. I know, we look at cards differently once we get better. Okay, we got a green X instant, deals X damage to each creature with flying. If it hit players, I would like that. Otherwise, that's a little too underwhelming. And then we got Earth for red X Aftermath. So you can play it from your graveyard. Earth deals X damage to each creature without flying. It's not terrible, but you're right. It's not good either. Oops, all spell. Oh yeah, that's the deck. There's Belcher, and then there's Oops, all spells. Darkstar Ashura for Old Boy Areo. Oh no, we did Areo, and it's busted. It's in its own tier of its own. All right, so we're going to donate your super chat, Darkstar, to Platonic Liquid. Glass Pool Mimic. It's a fan of mine. A card no one has heard of. Really? You guys that never heard of Glass Pool Mimic? I recently won a tournament with this card. Blue 2 generic. It's a clone. Enters the battlefield, copy a creature you control. Except it's a shapeshifter rogue in addition to its other types. But also, it land. It's a blue mana source. Blue is great. Okay, now I think this card is great. But the rest of the world thinks this card sucks. What's even worse is people think, I don't know. You know what's the problem with this card? People think this is a land first, creature second. I actually look at the other way around. It's a creature first, land second. Be careful. You be very sure when you play this as a land, because it was a potential creature. It was a potential creature that you put onto the battlefield. Yeah, people always sleep on the clone cards, because mostly people want to clone other people's stuff. They don't think about cloning their own stuff. Bloodbraid Elf. I'm not going to count those cards. I want it to physically be 2 cards on 1 card. Stranger Candy. Journey to Eternity, please. We got a green, black, one generic. Enchant creature you control. When enchant creature dies, return to the battlefield under your control, then return Journey to Eternity to the battlefield transformed under your control. That is good stuff. So you get to keep your creature. And what is the backside? It's a land. I love lands. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. You can also pay 5, tap, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you can instant speed reanimate things every single turn. That is a pass. That is a very, very good card. How do transform cards count? It's all 1 card. Because they physically put another card with its own unique abilities on the other side. Come on, how do any of these cards act like 2 cards? This is not card advantage. This is not card advantage the show. This is just 2 cards. I don't know. Look, Wizards started this thing. I didn't start it. They started it. That's what they're doing. Ashen with Deprive/Despair. Oh, sorry, Driven. Driven/Despair. Can't spell this for crap. Driven. How do they drive in the multiverse? What is this? Capenna? Okay, we have a green, 1 generic, sorcery. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to player, draw a card. That's not bad. I like drawing my cards for every single creature that deals combat damage. And we also have Despair, which I'm not going to turn my head to hurt. This is, it's going to be an ergonomically uncomfortable show if I had to turn my head for every card. Okay, Despair, black, 1 generic, sorcery, Aftermath. So until end of turn, creatures you control gain menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. I like the menace part. The whole discard a card, not that necessary, but it's fine. Okay, Zarathur says, it's 2 in 1, not 2 for 1. There we go. Do you what? Yeah, and I put that in the title. It's 2 in 1, not a 2 for 1. You got it. Okay, you make the rules. I also sometimes change the rules on the spot as I make the show. Happens all the time. Thing in the Ice. The card's busted. Alright, we got a blue 1 generic, 0/4 wall with Defender. It's not literally a wall, but it's effectively a wall. It can't attack. Comes into play with 4 ice counters. You can't cast an instant or sorcery card. Remove an ice counter from Thing in the Ice, and if it has no counters on it, transform it. First sight, honestly, just sort of sucks. I mean, it's a wall. It'll do some, you know, it can block a Ragavan or something on the first few turns of the game. But it then turns into the 7/8 Kraken Horror. When it transforms into the Awoken Horror, return all non-horror creatures to their owner's hands. Super busted. Remember, all non-horrors. Sometimes you might have horrors onto the battlefield. You might have Mutavault, for example. I love it when they turn into the Awakened Horror and I have a Mutavault on the battlefield. And I'm like, okay, block. I'm ready for you. I was born ready. Brawly's Shadow. Asika, God of the Tree, was a nutty commander. I thought Asika was a cat. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm getting my... wasn't there... Oh, is this the person's chariot? Or am I thinking of a different god? Okay, we have a green, 1 generic, 1/4 god with vigilance. Add 1 mana of any color. Pretty underwhelming ability for a god. Other legendary creatures you control all have vigilance, and also tap, add 1 mana of any color. It's not like the worst ability, but also not very exciting. So you can attack, and then you can add mana in the post-combat. And then we've got the Prismatic Bridge. Wooburg. Legendary enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal a creature or planeswalker card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. That card seems crazy. Just make sure you don't have any duds in your deck and you're good to go. Manipulate the top of your deck and you're... This plus... What is it? Sensei's Divining Top? That's a combo. It's her chariot, I think? Okay. I thought Asika might be like a cat god. Hence why the cats were in the chariot. I thought... Yeah, Asika's chariot? I thought that was Asika! It's her chariot! It's not like the cat is, like, dragging the damn thing. The cat is in the chariot, for crying out loud. Anyway. It goes to show how much I know the lore. Frank with Chalice of Life / Chalice of Death. Chalice of Life is a 3 generic artifact. You gain 1 life. Then if you have at least 10 or more life than your starting life total, you transform the Chalice of Life, and it turns into the Chalice of Death. Well, that is bizarre. First you live and then you die. Tap, target player loses 5 life. I guess it's okay. I don't know. It's a bit underwhelming. It's a bit of a weird design. First you're my problem is I don't know how you use this card. You're clearly in some sort of life gain deck, and then all of a sudden you want to turn into a burn deck. I just don't know what deck wants to play this damn thing. Alex, Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, red 2 generic for a 4/3 giant. That's pretty big for 3 mana. It got Stomp. For 2 mana, damage can't prevent it this turn. Deal 2 damage to any target. Great ability. And also, 4/3 creature, whenever it becomes target of a spell or ability, it deals 2 damage to that spell's controller. This card's insane. Hence why it's such a staple in Modern and Pioneer and anywhere else. Okay, next super chat, we've got the Delver of Secrets. Going after that low-hanging fruit there, Dark Star. Not a big secret here. The Delver is a 1/1. The front side sucks. Let's get that out of the way. It's a blue 1/1. And also, you have to build your deck around a lot of instants and sorceries, because you gotta look at the top card of your library, reveal the card. If it's an instant or sorcery, you transform it into a 3/2 flying creature. Honestly, if you were to just look at this card, you would think this card is just stone crap. Like, the front side is garbage. The second side, it doesn't even look that impressive. But when you actually play against this card in a 60-card format, you realize this card's actually sort of busted. It's like attacking like lightning bolt range. And it's unblockable, damn it. Flying, one of the most busted mechanics in all of Magic the Gathering. Great card. And Bone Crusher was amazing in Standard. It would be amazing again if they put it back in Standard. It's awesome. It's awesome in Pop. It still is awesome. You know what? People disagree. I tried playing this card in Pauper and they just don't like it. I guess you have to build a deck around more instants and sorceries. I'm too fairy-like in Pauper. We got Wind for the Win. Jadzi. Oracle of Arcavios. Amazing card. Let's take a look at it. Okay, we have 8. Okay, for 8 mana. This better slice and dice and make my toast and breakfast and everything. It's a 5/5 human wizard. Discard a card, return Jadzi, Oracle of Arcavios, to its owner's hand. It's got Magecraft, though. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast it. If it's an online card, you may cast it by paying 1 rather than paying it the spell's mana cost. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. So whenever you cast or copy a spell, reveal the top card of your library. But you gotta get lucky with what's on top of your library. Alright, what's the other side? The Journey to the Oracle. So, a sorcery for 4 mana. You may put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Then if you control 8 or more land cards, you may discard a card. If you do, return Journey to the Oracle to its owner's hand. I don't get this card. It chains, by the way. Oh, the front side can chain over... Whoops. So the front... Okay, this side sucks. This side, I gotta see it in action. So you cast or copy a spell. You reveal the top card. And then if you cast that spell, you can keep going. Okay, I get it. We give it a pass. Just make sure your deck is stacked in a way that you keep playing spells over and over again for 1 mana. Ramp into the Oracle. I mean, that's... Well, you need enough lands in hand to make that happen. Come on, there's more than one way to cast a 8-mana spell. More than one way of doing it. Alright, next super chat. We've got King Ginger with Valakut Awakening. Didn't we do that? Just do that one? Valakut Awakening. We just did that one. I think you just sniped yourself. Underrated for $5. It is actually underrated. That I'll give it to you. So we're going to donate your super chat to... Does a card breaking the color pie count? It's almost like 2 cards in 1. No. What do you mean card breaking the color pie? Depends. Alright, Thuso with Fire/Ice. Good way to showcase modality. This was one of the best cards ever printed into Modern, because this was like like one of those a card that is really good but not good enough for Legacy, but is just at the power level of Modern. Okay, most people use the ice effect of this. They use ice all the time. Blue 1 generic instant, tap target permanent, draw a card. So, oh, you thought you were gonna have turn 2? No, you get to have a second turn 1. The joke's on you. Okay, fire. Red 1 generic instant, deal 2 damage, divide as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. You can kill a 2 toughness creature, you can kill 2 1 toughness creatures, or you're gonna like bolt your opponent's face for 2 damage. Or Planeswalker. The utility people. Okay, easy pass. Easy pass. Evolving Wilds doesn't count? No, it's a land, for crying out loud. It's a land. It's a land, people. Margzilla with Bloodline Keeper. Isn't that like super expensive vampire? Oh, maybe it's not as expensive as I thought? Okay, it's 4 mana for a 3/3 flyer. Tap, put a 2/2 vampire creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Pay a black, transform Bloodline Keeper. Activate only if you control 5 or more vampires. That's a lot of vampires. What do we get on the other side? The Lord of Lineage. It's a 5/5 flyer. It turns into a massive vampire lord, giving all other creatures +2/+2, and you can tap, put another 2/2 vampire creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Not really excited about this tap thing, but the other abilities are fine. Okay, Sum124C says search Blex / Blex Vexing Pest. The hell is Blex? We have a 3 mana 3/2 Pest. Pest, it looks like. Looks like that bug my bug catcher caught just the other day. Other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders you control get +1/+1. So everything that you want to pay someone to exterminate. When Blex Vexing Pest dies, you gain 4 life. Not... What kind of weird typal deck is this? Okay, we have a sorcery here. Black, 2 generic sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put any number of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. You lose 3 life for each card put into your hand this way. Now, okay, if you're playing Commander, that's not bad. That can be like 15 life for 5 cards. But that's a lot of cards. And you could, and also, the rest of them go into your graveyard, so maybe you want them to go to the graveyard. That's a pass. This card, this half by itself is a pass. This one, the other half is just weird. That is a weird... I don't know who's building a deck around this damn thing. Very bizarre. I'm a snake! That's right, snake. Kevin! Jushi Apprentice / Tomoya the Revealer. You know what? I'd prefer it. They made cards like this again, where you'd flip the whole card around instead of pulling the card out, flipping it, putting it back in the sleeve. I don't like that. That was bad design. They should have. They did it right the first time. Okay, Jushi Apprentice, blue 1 generic for a 1/2 human wizard. Play blue 2 generic, tap, draw a card. If you have 9 or more cards in hand, flip Jushi Apprentice. That's hard to pull off. Okay, what do we got though? If we can flip the damn thing. Tomoya the Revealer. 5 mana for tap. Target player draws X cards, where X is the number of cards in your hand. That could be busted. So you can refill. You can double your hand. It's target player. That's a lot of mana, though. How do you get that many cards in hand? How do you get the 9th card in your hand in the first place? Made it difficult to see if tapped / untapped. What are you talking about? If it's tapped, it's tapped. I think it's clear. You just have to remember what side is what. That's all. I mean, if this card was literally tapped, I mean, it's tapped. And then that's that. It's not... Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the flip card, says a 1/2/4C. Either that would make you take them out of the sleeve. Yeah, I don't like taking the stuff out of the sleeve. And then sometimes it can make the sleeve a little bit more wear than your other sleeves. Okay, you could draw a billion cards off of this. I'm going to give it a pass. We're going to look at more 2-in-1 cards. But we got to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com. The Lost Caverns of Ixalan is right around the corner. If you want to pre-order those cards, keep a lookout for the cards you want and get them from FusionGamingOnline.com. Today's deal of the week, 15% off old Double Masters and Modern Horizon sets. So whether you're looking for a new Elemental, the new pitch, the new old pitch cards, looking for a Cavern of Souls, Sensei's Divining Top Esper Sentinel, You can get it at fusiongamingonline.com. And you know what also supports the channel? Using coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. This is what, love it or hate it, this is what has sped all the formats up straight, really super fast. Like if a format is solved, it's thanks to the rental companies like Mana Traders. And you can help solve formats with your ingenious play by renting with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_N9M. All right, back to the 2-in-1s. Everyone loves a 2-in-1. I'll flip a Chaos Orb only. That's all you'll flip around here. Okay, what do we got next? Space Pirate. Extus. Auric Overlord. Okay, we got black, white, 1 generic for a 2/4 human warlock with double strike. Don't know if that's necessary. With Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or a sorcery spell, return target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That's great! Basically stuff doesn't die. And then, wait, hold on, you can just cast either side? Oh, the other side is a sorcery. Okay, we've got Awaken the Blood Avatar. For 8 mana, it's a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. The spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature sacrificed this way. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Create a 3/6 black and red avatar creature token with haste. And whenever this creature attacks, it deals 3 damage to each opponent. So it's dealing 6 damage in 1. Each opponent sacks a creature. Create a 3/6. Oh, you only get 1 token? I don't know. The second side is underwhelming. I like the first side, though. So overall, you only have to play the first side, so it's a pass. By logic, I think all cards with a meld is 1.5-in-1 cards. I don't remember any cards with meld. Gotta help me there. Flyman, search for Azcanta. Very underrated card. Unfortunately, a little underpowered for Magic the Gathering these days, but I still like it. It's a blue 1 generic legendary enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get to effectively surveil, I guess. Look at the top card of your library. You can put it into your graveyard. Then if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you transform it into Azcanta the Sunken Ruin. Tap out a blue to your mana pool. Oh, it speaks to my heart. Blue 2 generic tap. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them. Put it into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So you keep chaining and keep looking for value. You keep digging. You keep digging at instant speed. I like the card. You lost the game? Don't worry, there's another one. The great thing about Magic is you shuffle up and you play again. Do invasion cards count? Yes, they do. Invasion of Zend... How do I spell invasion? Invasion of Zendikar. Poor Zendikar. Yeah, this card actually saw briefly, I think, some legacy play. Green 3 generic siege. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Or maybe this was, I just saw this get some modern play. And we transform it, turns into the 4/4 Vigilance Haste. Awakened Skyclave. As long as Awakened Skyclave is on the battlefield, it's a land in addition to its other types, and you can add 1 mana of any color. So I can blow this thing up, so I can Ghost Quarter this thing. It's a strictly better explosive vegetation. Yeah, for those who need help, all adventure cards, the split cards, the transform cards, the modal cards, everything. They all count. All 2 cards in 1. I like it. Anyway, the first half is pretty good. It's like 4 mana, get 2 lands, put them on the bat. Like, that's not bad in itself, and it's got upside beyond that. Oh, it was the other invasion with the red one? You put a Vampire Hexmage in play, use and make the back half, that's an 8/8. No, I think I was thinking of, there was the red one, the dragon. There was a dragon one. Toilet Duck, Invasion of Asgol. Who knows how many good invasions there are, and we just haven't been paying attention because most of these invasions, they're just weird cards. I haven't read like even 15% of them. Okay, we got Rakdos, red-black. 4 loyalty. When Invasion of Asgul enters the battlefield, target opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, loses 1 life. Great card just by itself. So what's the bonus? It's a 2/1 with Menace. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on Ashen Reaper if a permanent was put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn. Not bad. All upside anyway. There's like 6. The red-black one has seen 0 play, and I still don't understand that. This one? I could have swore this was, like, very... I mean, maybe it was temporarily played in Scam in Modern, but just very, very rarely. Like, I don't know, they tested it, and I guess it wasn't good enough in the end. But it's cheap. It's 2 mana. Your opponent probably only has 1 creature in play anyway. Color Pie Break. Dead/Gone. From Christopher B. Oh yeah, this is a super color pie break. Red, deal 2 damage to target creature. Not bad, but gone. Red 2 generic. Return target creature you don't control to its owner's hand. You bounce it back to your... Which is actually insanely relevant right now in Modern. Because you can bounce Murktide, which is this huge delve creature. And you can bounce like a Rhino, which is... It's not great value, but it's not bad. At least deals with it. Dead/Gone. Pass. You know, honestly, if this didn't see Modern play, I'd probably disqualify it. It looks very underwhelming, but like at least the dead side is okay, and the gone side, like I don't know, it looks both really underwhelming, but they're just, it's the meta, people, the meta, the position. Jason Mind Sculptor is at least 2 cards in one. No, it's not. Sorry, Frank. That's not how the rules work around here. Okay, we got another one from Space Private. Oh no, we did the we did Exodus. Blue Bomber. Rune Tail. Kitsune Ascendant. It's technically 2/1. Absolutely. Okay, Rune Tail is a white 2 generic for a 2/2. When you have 30 or more life, flip it. So it flips instantly in Commander. It's just like Rune Tail. All right, I get the other side. Where does the other side go? Prevent all damage that would be dealt to creatures you control. That's pretty good. That is not bad. Do most Commander players know this thing exists? Like, everyone's trying to make their creatures indestructible. This is effectively making your creatures somewhat indestructible. I mean, like, so you don't have to... I mean, you do still have to worry about anything that deals, like, destroys. But outside of that, I mean, you'll prevent all the damage. Okay, Tavishel with Brazen Borrower. Oh, this is, like, the best card being held back by the chains of... What's it called? Ren 6 and Bowmasters. Okay, I love this card. Let's get the nice picture, though. That's the good one, baby. Okay, Petty Theft for a blue 1 generic. Return target non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. That's not bad utility. And for 3 mana, it's a flash 3/1 flyer. Can only block creatures with flying, but I'm not going to block with the damn thing. I'm just going to attack. Yeah, it's like... I love it. Unfortunately, just not very meta strong right now. Too much pinging things. 1 toughness creatures are going extinct, damn it. Space Pirate says, I know it exists, but I don't want to wait for a full rotation to my upkeep. Oh, do you have to wait to rotate your upkeep for this thing? You have 30 more. You just get it immediately. You get the ability instantaneously. You have 30 life. All right, you prevent all damage. You just looked at it, but have you seen the secret lair art of Brazen Bar where there's a secret lair? I don't like it. You know what? It's not bad, but like this one is just... This is S tier for me. I can't look at anything else. It's just strictly S tier. Okay, we got Brawly Shadow. Elbrus. The Binding Blade. Always liked it. 7 mana, equip... 7 mana equipment, that's ridiculous. The blade is 7 mana, but the equip is 1. Because it's just a blade, I guess. Equipped creature gets a whole +1/+0. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, unattach it, then transform it into the 13/13 flying Intimidate. What's Intimidate? I know Menace. I don't know what Intimidate is. I've never heard of that one. Okay, anyway, Trample. Whenever a player loses the game, put 13 +1/+1 counters on Wingar Unbound. This feels too win more for me. 2 win more. I would rather this side did more, like, for 8 mana and dealing combat damage to somebody, I would figure I should get, like, way more out of this card than I do. It's Fear? Then why don't they just call it Fear? Intimidate is fear, but artifact creatures and or creatures that share a color with it. Ah, okay. Fear, but for shared color. So this thing intimidates the artifact and black creatures? Probably said, I said I liked it, not that it was good. It's okay, we're all posting cards that we like. Spectral Maniac with Agadeem's Awakening. This is a weird card. This card's more famous for being a land than a spell. So the first side, it's a land. Also can come to battlefield untapped at the cost of 3 life. Second half, not played nearly as much, but is playable. Black, 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 X. Sorcery, return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that have a converted mana cost of X or less. You know who you are. You people love to reanimate the creatures that are dead. It's like, oh, I know how I'm going to protect myself from a board wipe. I'm just going to rebuild my army with Agadeem's Awakening. Anyway, it's a good card. It's actually mostly good, though, for being a land. Satan's Catfish. That is a very bizarre username. Have we done Polukranos Reborn? Nope. Alright, we got triple green for a 4/5 with reach. That's great! Why doesn't this see play as it is? Okay, you can also pay 6 and a Phyrexian white. Transform Polukranos Reborn. Activate only as a sorcery. And then we got a 6/6 reach lifelink. When Polukranos Engine of Ruin or another non-token Hydra you control dies, create a 3/3 green and white Phyrexian Hydra creature token with reach, and 3/3 green and white Phyrexian Hydra creature token with lifelink. So it turns into Wormcoil Engine, effectively. And it's got lifelink. So it's, again, Wormcoil Engine. But it's got reach instead of Death Touch. So it's reach instead of Death Touch. I like it. I think the front half is pretty good. Yeah, the front half is like Endurance almost, just without the flash. But it's got huge upside. Does see play. Mono green plays this card just to try to beat me. Oh, good God. Yeah, blocks spirits. Anti-spirit card. Robin. Welcome, Robin. Valentine. Dean of Vane. And also Lisette, Dean of the Roots. Okay, there we go. The green side is really fun commander. But what about the black side? Okay, so it's a 1/1 for 1 mana. It's a Vampire Warlock, so that's for the vampire players. With Menace and Lifelink, whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls would die. That's actually insane. Okay, so their creatures can't even die. And if you do, you can pay 2. If you do, get a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. A little bit underwhelming, but it's like random value, so who's going to say no to that? And then we have Lisette, Dean of the Root. So in Commander, can you just play the other side? I guess so. Green, 2 generic for a 4/4 human druid. Whenever you gain life, you can pay 1. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and those creatures gain trample until end of turn. Great stuff, actually. Very, very good. Oh, did you get sniped, Russ? No, hold on. You didn't get sniped. We're on our way. We're on our way. We're going with Dark Star Ashura here. Urabrask? When we get to the 4th quarter, we're gonna blast through all the super chats. It's the 4th quarter super chat world. Urabrask / the Great Work. Okay, this is the OG Urabrask. Okay, we have a red for 2 generic for a 4/4 Phyrexian Praetor. Reminds me of Carnage here. Okay, you got first strike. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Urabrask deals 1 damage to target opponent. Add a red. You can pay a red, exile Urabrask, and then return to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery, and only if you've cast 3 or more instant or sorcery spells this turn. That's a huge condition. I gotta play a lot of spells and pay the red. A little too much in my opinion. And then you get the Great Work. Chapter 1 deals 3 damage to target opponent and each creature they control. That's not bad. Create 3 treasure tokens. That's pretty underwhelming at this stage of the game. Chapter 3. Until end of turn, you may cast instant and sorcery spells from any graveyard. If a spell cast this way would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Exile the great work. Okay, that's not bad. The first half's not terrible. Like, you have a 4/4 first striker for 4. I just don't like you have to spend so much mana to get through the so many spells to get to where you want to get to. Okay, let's get through all the super chats. We got Russ. See, I got to you, Russ. Are you happy now? Westvale Abbey. Did we do this one? We did this one, Russ. It's a good card. I like it. It's a land that creates tokens, and you randomly can have a gigantic 9/7 indestructible haste lifelink flying creature. But we're going to donate your super chat to... Ooh, Malakir Rebirth. I can't remember. Does Scam play this card? Or is this just... I think it got outed now for the other one. For the You're Already Dead or something like... Or there's like another card that's very similar. Okay, so 1/2 is a land, which is good stuff. Comes with battlefield tapped, out of black. One of the most busted abilities in all of Magic, add black mana. And it's an instant, choose target creature. You lose 2 life until end of turn. That creature gains whenever this creature dies. Return it to the battlefield, tapped under your owner's control. Very good with the elemental cards. Also very good with any... It's like also a really good response to anyone's removal. Oh, you killed my thing? No. It's coming back. It's coming back better than ever, baby. Joshua. Oh, what do you got for us, Joshua? Hostile Hostel. Oh, yeah. It's a hotel or whatever, right? Hostile Hostel. We have a land that taps for a colorless mana. Pay 1. Tap, sack a creature, put a soul counter on Hostile Hostel. Then if there are 3 or more soul counters on it, remove the counters and you transform it. Honestly, I think that is a lot of work to activate this thing, but we get the Creeping In. It's a 3/7. Whenever Creeping In attacks, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of creature cards exiled with Creeping In. Pay 4. Creeping In phases out. Okay, I think it's a lot of work to pull off. On the other hand, it's a land. It's a bit of a free roll. You can do this... Oh, you can't do this at instant speed. You have to activate these all at sorcery speed. Okay, I don't like it. If it instant speed, it's great. But it's not instant speed, so... It's like on the edge. Like, again, it's like a free roll card. It's a land. But I don't want to... You effectively pay 2 a turn to put a stupid counter on the damn thing. It's a sack outlet, though? For what? It's a sack out on the other side? Can you even sack this thing? Actually, I don't understand the sack outlet part. Alright, let's move on to the next super chat. We got King Ginger. Nico Bolas, the Ravager. Also looking out for Lord Magicus here. I know that's what Lord Magicus would also choose. Okay, we got 4 mana for a 4/4 Elder Dragon with flying. Enters a battlefield, each opponent discards a card. I hate that part of this card. That's so annoying. I played against this card millions of times in Historic. It's very frustrating. Then 7... You could die to this thing by itself, by the way. It needs no extra abilities. But, hey, for 7 mana, you can exile Nico Bolas, return to the battlefield. You gotta activate it as a sorcery, but that's okay, because you're gonna get the big Nico Bolas the Arisen. It's a 7 loyalty planeswalker. You go +2, you draw 2 cards. Oh, Jace the Mind Sculptor, eat your heart out. Then we go -3, deals 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That's pretty wild. You could do that twice with the loyalty that it starts off with. You go -4, put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Then, if that wasn't enough, -12, exile all but the bottom card of target player's library. Insanely good card. Very, very, very good card. Why no Ugin equivalent? Because I think Ugin is dead. I don't know. What is the official timeline? Is Ugin alive or not? Okay, we'd have Dark Star Ashura. Elusive Tormentor. / Insidious Mist. Hilarious to mutate on top of it in Commander after transforming it. Okay, what? Hilarious to mutate on top of it in Commander after transforming it. So it's probably going to make a very weird creature then. We got a black 2 generic 4/4 Vampire Wizard. Pay 1, discard a card. Transform Elusive Tormentor. Okay, so the cost is not that big. It's pretty easy to transform this stupid thing. Then we get a 0/1 elemental with hexproof, indestructible. Insidious Mist can't block and can't be blocked. But it's a pathetic 0/1. And whenever Insidious Mist attacks and isn't blocked, you can pay 3 mana if you do transform it. Why would you want to transform? Okay, so the idea is you transform this into an indestructible hexproof creature, and then you mutate on top of it to give it some decent stats, like a 4/4 body or something. I got, this is just a weird card to me. Okay, I think it's jank. I think, you know, I see where you're having fun, and I believe it, but it's jank. It's very janky. Okay, next up, we've got Steven with Huntmaster of the Fells. Still a good anymore? Well, there's a lot of Huntmasters, apparently. It's still good. It's not bad. All right, if we consider all the split cards, it's actually on the higher range of the split cards. It's a 4 mana 2/2 that comes with a 2/2 wolf, and you gain 2 life. And at the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, you transform your thing into the Ravager. It's a 4/4 trampler that deals 2 damage to a player and a creature they control. And at the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells, you get another wolfie, and you gain more life. You could chain this over and over again. Punish them counterspell players for passing with all their counterspells. Yo, little Ted. What do you got for us, yo, little Ted? Turgrid, God of Fright, has Annoying Lantern. Turgrid. The God of the Frights. Okay, we have 5 mana for a 4/5 God with Menace. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Sacrifices or discard. This is great. So the front side is amazing. We don't even need to see the back side of this thing. And then we got Turgrid's Lantern. The 4 mana legendary artifact. Tap. Target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discards a card. That's awkward. Not a love with stuff like this. Like, people just usually pay the 3 life or sack something they don't need. Okay, sack this treasure token. You can pay 4 mana, untap Turgrid's Lantern. I guess if you have infinite life, I guess if you have infinite mana, this is a win condition, because you're going to make them sack everything or they just die. Turgrid is not great. It's a nightmare. See, that's why it's great. She's broken as a commander way too easily to get value. Yeah, the front size is insane. It's a menacing god, but not indestructible. What kind of god is so fragile? Fragile god out there. Samurai's like, tap it. Tap the others. Tap the lantern for 666 times. Was it busted in the command zone? How? You have to cast this card, right? I mean, this is no eminence. Yeah, but it is a good, strong card. Good card. No debate there. King Ginger. Dowsing Dagger. Two mana, enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 2 0/1 green plant creature tokens with Defender. That's really bizarre. I'm gonna kill you, you plant! It's an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+1. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you can transform it. Also equipped for 2. Anyway, the first side sucks. The second side, Lost Veil. Add 3 mana of any one color to your mana pool. Well, that's insane. So, how do you... So, it's basically a Lotus Veil, or a repeatable Black Lotus. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may transform it. I guess it's okay. I think it's a bit janky. But, like, the second half is damn good. Nighthawk Live, my favorite commander, for Asika, God of the Tree. I think we did that one. Yeah, we did Asika. So we're going to donate your super chat, Knight. Thanks so much. Okay, we got Magista wants to do Grizzled Angler / Grizzly Angler Fish. Okay, blue 2 generic for a 2/3 human. Tap, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then if there is a colorless creature card in your graveyard, transform Grizzled Angler. That sounds terrible. I guess unless you're playing a heavy artifact deck. We got the Grizzly Anglerfish. It's a 4/5 Eldrazi fish. Is it like it's got something, some head hanging in front of it? Pay 6. Creatures your opponents control attack this turn if able. So you got a bit of a goading thing going on. I don't like it. I don't like it. To hell with this card. Too much jank. Okay, we got... Oh, my huge super chat from Baron Brendan. Find/finality. All right, what do we got here? We got find. Golgari, sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Not terrible. Finality. You may sorcery for 6 mana. You may put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. Then all creatures get -4/-4 until end of turn. One-sided board wipe. Can never go wrong with those. Your creature gets bigger. Everyone else dies. Black Lance Geo. What the hell was your super chat? I gotta dig for your super chat, Black Lance Geo. Where were you? You gotta make your super chats with the super chats. Or your suggestion with the super chat. Unless this was like pennies. Which in that case maybe got... Okay, I found you. I found you, Black Lance. So what was your card? There we go. Arrayo! We did Arrayo. It's busted. Okay, we're gonna donate your super chat now. I looked so hard for your super chat. We did it already. Let's do... Trying to find... I don't think we got one from you, Snowcades. Runo. Stromkirk. Okay, we got black, blue, 1 generic for a 1/4 Vampire Cleric with flying. When Runo Stromkirk enters the battlefield, put up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. What, it doesn't go into our hand? What's the point of this flying? Does it really fly? I guess so. Some vampires just fly for no reason. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library, which is going to be our creature. You may reveal that card if the creature card with mana value... If a creature card with mana value 6 or greater is revealed this way, we transform into Runo Stromkirk. Or sorry, we transform this thing into Kruthus, Lord of the Deep. We turn into a big squid. What the hell? We went from vampire to Kraken Horror. It's a 3/5 flyer. Whenever Kruthus, Lord of the Deep attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of another target attacking creature. If that creature is a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent, create 2 tokens. This seems a little hard to pull off. A little too hard. A little bit of a bit of a fail for me. Platonic Liquid. Okay, what do you got for us, Platonic Liquid? Invasion of... Go back can. Invasion of Go Back. Okay, we got... What is this plane? I never even heard of this plane. It's like completely brand new to me. Okay, we have a white 1 generic, 3 loyalty siege. Enters the battlefield, look at the top. Look at target opponent's hand. You may exile a non-land card from it. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it. A spell cast this way costs 2 more to cast. I swear someone played this against me in Legacy. I think it was the initiative decks. And then we get Light Shield Array. Or at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that attacked this turn. Sacrifice it. Creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. That side is amazing. That is a very strong, powerful card. I don't know where Go Backhand is, but invading it is amazing. Yeah, you're invading the place that's called Go Back. Go Backhand. Get out of here. You're invading the place that's telling you to F off. Okay, Blue Bomber. Avabruck Caretaker. We got a green 4 generic 4/4 human werewolf. Which one's the werewolf? The woman or the wolf? Hexproof. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put... It's got hexproof for 6 mana, which is not bad. Okay, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on another target creature you control. That's not bad. We've got Daybound. Daybound sucks because I hate keeping track of that mechanic. You get it, the Hollow Henge Huntmaster. Be careful when you retransform, you don't have clothes. Hexproof. Other permanents you control have hexproof. You love your hexproof, people. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Yeah, do werewolves ever think about that? They gotta wear stretchy clothing. See all these clothes? They're gone now. Gotta be careful. Be careful. You gotta have... Quickly clothe yourself when the sun... How does a werewolf work? Oh yeah, when the sun rises. Oh, we're not done yet. I have so many super chats to get through. Does morph count? No. It will not count. Okay, we got Barracat. What do you got for us, Barracat? Did we do Prismatic Bridge? We did not do Prismatic Bridge. We did Nicol Bolas, though. Oh, the other one is we did do this one. Yeah, we did do the Prismatic Bridge. This one is busted. We've done it now twice now. You don't even get your other one. We also did Nicol Bolas the Ravager. Yeah, you just joined. You joined a little late. Okay, so we're gonna donate your super chat to trying to find someone who didn't get one yet. We did Yaji. We didn't do Repudiate Replicate. I like this card. I haven't found a moment to actually get this thing to I don't know, to play it. But I think this card is great. I used to play in Historic. So it's hybrid of Simic, instant, counter target activated or triggered ability. So that's like a counter spell for a lot of stuff these days. Because everything has like an ETB or something triggers, or you sack like a fetch land, you can counter it. But then you have Replicate. So for a blue-green 1 generic, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. So if you have a sort of a Lord effect, you want to double another creature that's already good value, you replicate it. So it's like basically 3 mana, anything of yours on the battlefield. Be careful when you target something, they could remove it at instant speed. This is only sorcery speed. Okay, so next up we did... Did we do this Averbrook one? Can't remember. Yeah. Okay, King Ginger next. Jin-Gitaxias. The Great Synthesis. Okay, so this is the only one that will flip on 2 sides. Jin-Gitaxias, 5 mana, 5/5 with Ward 2. Love it already. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, draw a card. That's insane. Pay 4, exile Jin-Gitaxias, return it to the battle. I don't even know why you would want to transform it. The front side is so good. I would just stay on the front side of this thing. Okay, so transform it. Activate it only as a sorcery, and only if you have 7 or more cards in your hand. If you have 7 or more cards in your hand, you're doing great. Then you got the Great Synthesis. Chapter 1, draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. That's weird, you already have 7 cards. You need more cards? You have no maximum hand size for as long as you control the Great Synthesis, which will be only for like 2 more turns. Okay, Chapter 2, return all non-Phyrexian creatures to their owner's hands. That's insane. And then Chapter 3, you may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. Exile the Great Synthesis and return it to the battlefield. Back into your Jin-Gitaxias. Great card. Very good card. Platonic Liquid. I also think Invasion of Karsus is underrated. The Invasion of Karsus. Is it Invasion of K? Okay, there we go. In the Invasion of Karsus, red, 2 generic for a 4 loyalty siege. Enters the battlefield, deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. That is great. Alright, so we've got a little bit of sweeper action going on over here. But we also have a 4/4 elemental with ward, pay 2 life. And whenever you cast a spell, Refraction Elemental deals 2 damage to each opponent. That's also great. So you speed the game up. You cast spells, you deal damage. And to everybody. Everyone gets some damage. Everyone gets some damage. You get some damage, you get some damage, everyone gets some damage. Rowan, what do you got for us? You have for us the Graph Rats and Midnight Scavengers. The Graph Rats. Okay, we have black 1 generic, 2/1 rat at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you both own and control Graph Rats and a creature named Midnight Scavengers, exile them, then meld them into the Chittering Host. That sounds like a lot of work. We only have 1/2 of it here. This is not even 2 cards in 1. This is like 1.5 in 1. Sorry, 1.5 cards in 1. And it sounds like I need another card to make this work. What a weird card. Okay, Platonic. I don't even know what this card does. So Liquid Soulfly's been asking for an hour. Okay, let's see what Liquid Soulfly's been asking for. Liquid Soulfly, what are you doing here? Looking for Liquid Soulfly. Well, we're in super chat range right now. Because if I don't deal with all the super chats in the 4th quarter of the show just goes on for forever. Yeah, I'm digging into the deep history of chat. It almost looks like Liquid Soulfly like gave up at some point. Okay, what was your card, Liquid Soulfly? You still around here? Yeah, I've got to go really deep in chat or something. What was his card? Okay, here we go. Assault/battery. All right. We're going to get assaulted around here. We have a red sorcery. Assault deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Okay, not bad, not terrible. So super depends on the second half. Then we got battery. For a green 3 generic, we got a 3/3 green elephant creature token to the battlefield. Oh my god, we got a big elephant. I think it sucks. Thank you very much for your contribution, Liquid Soulfly. I hope it was worth it. Oh, we got the Fountain. Turn/burn. The old poker analogy here. Or a callback to poker. Turn/burn. Alright, we got turn. Blue 2 generic. Instant. Target creature loses all abilities and becomes a 0/1 red weird until end of turn. It's okay. And then we got burn. And now this is a fuse card, so you could pull off both sides in one shot. Burn is deal 2 damage to target creature or player. I like the card. So for 5 mana, you could basically kill anything. You turn something, you make something lose all its abilities, and you can kill it. Or, you know, someone attacks with an indestructible creature, you turn it, you block it with a 1/1, and then it dies. And if nothing else, you have got like you got a shock on the other side of the card here. So it's not that bad at all. Lord Trevor with the super chat. Got here late. Here's for a mocha. My card, if you didn't do this one, is Yaji. We did Yaji. We did Yaji. First half, strong. Second half, a bit weird. Okay, we're going to donate your super chat to the freebie section. We're going to give it to Xander. Illusion/reality. A lot of people coming in late. You got to be here early on in the show. It's all about being early. Okay, Illusion, a blue, instant. Target spell or permanent becomes the color of your choice until end of turn. Very hard ability to use. Reality, destroy target artifact. These two cards have nothing to do with each other. That is so weird. All right. Absolute crap. We got blue. Okay, next up we got Blue Bomber. What super chat I'm going to give you? Give this to this one. Technically 2 for 3. But Mishra claimed by Gix/Phyrexian Dragon Engine. If this doesn't work, donate it. What the hell are you talking about? Mishra claimed? Is that a card? Mishra claimed by Gix. Does that have a second? It has 2 okay, so it has 2 sides. That's fine with me. So we have 4 mana for 3/5. Phyrexian Human Artificer. Whenever you attack, each opponent loses X life, you gain X life, where X is the number of attacking creatures. If Mishra claimed by Gix and a creature named Phyrexian Dragon Engine are attacking, and you both own and control them, exile them, meld them, lost to a Phyrexia, it enters the battlefield tapped. I don't want to look at the other half. So we have the Mishra lost to Phyrexia. So what is the other card? Technically, this is another one of those like 1.5 in 1 cards or something like that. Yeah, 1.5 out of 1.5. It's a 1.5 in 1. That's what it is. Dragon Engine. Well, I'm just curious what this card was gonna do. Oops. Dragon Engine. Well, it can't be that one. I guess it has to be this one. So this is the other side. Holy smokes, it does a lot! This looks like an AI-generated card. It doesn't have rotate. Doesn't have rotate. Okay, whenever Mishra lost to Phyrexia enters the battlefield or attacks, choose 3. Target opponent discards 2 cards. Deals 3 damage to any target. Destroy target artifact or planeswalker. Creatures you control gain menace and trample until end of turn. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Create 2 tap Power Stone tokens. Just threw a bunch of crap on there. So they just rolled the dice and put a bunch of abilities on this. There is no rhyme or reason to this damn thing. Okay, Dr. Caviar. Fire and Ice, never a dead card. Great card. However, we did it already. So we're going to donate your super chat to Ryan. Ryan's got the Crag Crown Pathway. All them pathways are good. So, hold on. What the hell? Is this just like... It's literally just it's just a dual land. You know what? I'm going to give it a pass. You got one side, it adds red. You got the other side, it adds green. What? Nothing wrong with that. You can't fetch it out, but you know what? It is it's not even a cheap land. They're like $3 to $4. I'm surprised more people didn't like opt to choose these types of cards. Okay, Platonic Liquid. Who are you donating this time? Have to give one to Abzo. Also about an hour. What is Abzo claiming for here? Abzo. Where are you, Abzo? Heliod. The Radiant Dawn. All right, we got 4/4. God enters the battlefield. Return target enchantment card that isn't a god from your graveyard to your hand. And also you can transform it for a Phyrexian 3 generic. Transform only as a sorcery. It becomes a 4/6. You may cast spells as though they had flash. Spells you cast that cost 1 less to cast for each card your opponents have drawn this turn. That's interesting. So they'll always draw at least 1 card, and if they draw more than 1 card, you can cast things for super cheap. So you get value no matter what. Return target enchantment card from your that isn't a god from your graveyard to your hand. I like it. It's a good one. It won a small CDH tournament. Wow. Okay, that I didn't expect. But I like the abilities are good. And if you can build your deck around like mostly stuff that has like just generic converted mana costs, you could really abuse the second side to this thing. All right. Have we done Glasspool Mimic? We did Glasspool Mimic, and it's amazing. Meatwad. Excellent avatar, excellent name. 10 out of 10 on the username. We're going to donate your super chat to Jacob. Startled Awake. Okay, blue, 2 generic for a sorcery. Target opponent puts the top 13 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. And then also you can pay 5. Wait, this is an activated ability on a sorcery. Put Startled Awake from your graveyard. Oh, okay, you can do it from the graveyard. Put it from your graveyard onto the battlefield transformed. And it is a 1/1 nightmare. And it is going to be a nightmare. I don't want to see that in my dreams. Skulk. When persistent nightmare deals combat damage to a player, return it to its owner's hand. I think this card's trash. Deals combat damage, return it to your hand. This is a very, this is a very slow mill card. Too slow, in my opinion. Darkstar. Ultra Magnus. Ultra. The Tactician. Hey, it's got like, hey, come at me, bro. Hey, come at me. I can do this all day. Okay, we got Naya 4 generic for a 7/7 robot with more than meets the eye for 5 mana. You can cast it converted. It's got Ward 2. Whenever it attacks, you may put an artifact creature card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. That's insane if you do convert Ultra Magus at end of combat. So I have to convert this thing no matter what. And that turns into another big semi-truck. We have 4/7 living metal with haste, with formidable. Whenever Ultra Magnus attacks, attacking creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. If those creatures have total power 8 or greater, convert. Great card. And we got Mario! A bit late today. What about research development? We have not done that one. Research development. We need our research. We also need development. R&D around here. That's why they call it R&D. Okay, Simic instant. Choose up to 4 cards you own from outside the game and shuffle them into your library. That is such a historic card. That sounds so historic-like. Anyway, I don't like it. Development. Well, what does that mean in Commander? So you can just put 4 anything from your, like, binder into your deck? And then search for that later? Anyway, we got development for 5 mana. Instant. Put a 3/1 red elemental creature token into play unless an opponent lets you draw a card. Repeat this process. Repeat this process 2 more times. So we get a 3/1. Unless an opponent lets you draw a card. So you can either draw 3 cards or get a 3/1 red elemental. Second half doesn't seem very, it seems underwhelming. But the research part, is that busted? Like, can someone, like, really abuse that card? Wait, so werewolves transform, but transformers convert? Yeah, that's funny. They convert. Yet they're called transformers. Yeah, that's Wizards of the Coast logic for you. Okay, Commander has no sideboard. Those cards don't work, sadly. No, from what I hear, though, so outside the game actually means 2 different things. Outside the game in competitive Magic means the sideboard, but actually it's in the rules that outside the game in casual Magic is like anything. You could grab cards from your, like, stores, like binders and bulk bin if you really wanted to. I just don't know how to abuse this. I mean, so basically for 2 mana you have access to any card within Magic the Gathering, like any 4 cards within Magic the Gathering, and you throw them into your library to, like, maybe go grab it for later. Although I don't know how, like, these cards work in Commander. There's no but the thing is, they don't look for the sideboard. So, like, someone showed me the rule, which blew me away. In casual Magic, outside the game just means anything. It means your binder. It means like any sort of random cards. It's just only in competitive Magic that it has to be from your sideboard, which is just bizarre. Anyway, okay, maybe I'll give it this a pass because the research part could be, like, really, really strong. Okay, we got Blue Bomber. How are you gonna finish off the day? You're gonna finish off with Valky, God of Lies. Valky is busted. Even if you play this fairly, it's pretty busted. 2 mana, 2/1. Enters the battlefield, the opponent reveals their hand. For each opponent, exile a creature card they revealed this way until Valky leaves the battlefield. That's pretty good just by itself. You can pay X, choose a creature card exiled with Valky, with converted mana cost X, and Valky becomes a copy of that card. But if you cheat, you can cheat the other side of this thing and play. Like, I don't know, Bring to Light or something. You got Tybalt the Cosmic Imposter, a 7 mana, 5 loyalty card. Gets an emblem. You can play cards exiled with Tybalt. Cast mana of any color to cast those spells. +2, exile the top card of each player's library. So you just basically drew 2 cards. -3, exile target artifact or creature, which you can now cast. And also -8, exile all cards from all graveyards and add triple red. That's not a lot of mana, but it is still a very, very good ability. And with that... Oh, Zarathor, you have, like, 1 more damn thing. Transformers convert because of legal shenanigans. Okay, I just believe it. I don't understand the legal shenanigans. Well, I hope you enjoyed those split cards. I see that many of you are very passionate about your split cards, and you want to be part of the show. To speak what you're passionate about, your cards, your favorite cards get passed or fail, you gotta be here on Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. That's when we have Coffee and MTG. And we gotta thank everyone for supporting the show. People who are patrons on Patreon, members on YouTube, but most importantly also, well, not equally importantly, people who support the channel with super chats to also be part of the show. And also those who donate to other people who don't super chat. So we gotta thank everyone who does that as well. We also gotta thank everyone who shows up in the morning to be part of the show, like Xander, Nighthawk Live, Steve Cooper, Spectral Maniac, Christopher B, Jesse Abzo, Samrat the Raccoon, always a bigger fish, Novos, because without all of you guys, I'd have no show. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.